Hi, my name is Miss Andrea, and I am here today in our EcoStation space to bring you a project sponsored by Total for World Environment Month. The project I'm bringing you today is filters. And when you think about filters, you think about maybe the charcoal filters in your fish tank or the filters in your shower or for your water at home. You don't really think about filters like natural filters. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about natural filters. There are 4 different types of natural filters I'd like to talk to you about. One, I'm not sure if you can hear it, but there's the pond behind me here at EcoStation. It has a lot of wetland plants. Wetland plants are one of the best things for filtering water. They'll even take some of the bacteria out of the water and toxins. So it's really, really good. And here in the coastal area where we're at, there is a lot of wetlands. Really, really important to keep the wetlands going safe. So now I want to talk to you about oysters. Oysters, not only are they yummy, yummy, but did you know that oysters can filter out 60 gallons of water a day? When they feed, that water filters through. And so they've even put like oyster reefs in different places where there's very polluted water to help the water to get clean. So I was really surprised about the oysters. The next one I'm going to talk to you about is really important if you ever are stuck on a deserted island. It's coconuts. Did you know that coconuts are one of the purest water? Raw coconuts, the water has to filter through all the fiber. And so by the time that it gets filtered out, it even takes out some of the parasites. You're stuck on a deserted island, you pop open that coconut, you drink that water, and you're good to go. So, important thing to know. The last one I'm going to talk to you about is sand. Now, people have been using sand for thousands of years to filter water. We're going to be using, I have today with me some coarse sand, some fine sand. The difference is coarse sand's a little bit rougher, it's a little bit bigger. I also have pebbles and I have gravel. So, did you know that rocks, when they get broken down, they make pebbles, and when pebbles get broken down, they make sand? So sand is just actually tiny rock. So the other thing you'll need is a stick. You can get a twig will work fine. A coffee filter. If you don't have a coffee filter, it's okay. Maybe people don't drink coffee in your house. You can get a paper towel or you can get cotton balls. You just really need something here at the bottom to keep everything from falling through. Something that will allow the water to go through. You need a water bottle or a juice bottle, preferably something big like a 2-liter bottle will work best, but it's not really necessary. I'm going to use this one today. You'll need a box cutter, scissors, a food coloring if you have it. If you don't, that's okay. You don't have to do that part of the project. It's optional. You'll need dirt. The dirt, it should not be potting soil. Potting soil is not really good for this. You can even just go get dirt from your backyard. And the other thing you'll need is another 2-liter bottle, and this is optional also. So we're going to get started. I told you that people have been using sand to filter for thousands of years. Well, did you know the Romans and the Greeks 2,000 years ago were using them to filter the water for their bathhouses. So we're going to be doing something that people have been doing for a very long time. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Now science is fun, but it can be dangerous. So you want to make sure that you have a responsible adult that's helping you with this project. Okay? So the first thing that they're going to do, they are going to do this part. Okay? Get your parent or the adult that's helping you to help you with this part. You're going to take your bottle and they're going to use a box cutter just to cut a little bit into the plastic. Now, you want to do this where the funnel part has the biggest part. And the part that collects the water is the smallest. So they'll make a little hole, and then they're going to take their scissors and they're going to cut around it, like I did here. So that's what I did with my bottle, and now I'm going to invert it. The first thing that you're going to want to put in here is your coffee filter, if you have a coffee filter. If not, your paper towel. I cut my coffee filter down a little bit because I want you to be able to see the layers. We have fine sand, coarse sand, we have gravel and rocks. So the first thing we're going to want to put in after our filter is our sand. So you're going to pour your sand in. The sand is the most important part. And now you want to put your coarse sand. So we have now the fine sand, the coarse sand. We're going to throw our pebbles in. Put a good layer of pebbles in there. Now, I'm not measuring this out. It's not really necessary. I kind of know more or less. But if you want to change a variable in this experiment, it's better to have a measuring cup and measure what you put in here. So if you want to try this again and have mostly sand and very few of the other things, you would want to keep the same proportions, because if what you're trying to figure out is about the sand. If you wanted to see if you put more pebbles, you would do the same thing. So you would have a measuring cup, measure everything out, keep everything the same, and change the one variable you want. But today we're not doing that. Today we're just checking it out. So now I'm going to add my rocks. Okay, now we take our potting soil and we are going to make our water dirty. How are we going to make our water dirty? We're going to add soil to it. And this is what you need the stick for. You're going to mix that all in, get your water nice and dirty. Might take a minute, like making chocolate milk, sort of, but don't drink it. Okay, so it's always fun playing with dirt, I think. You know, like when you make patty cakes and stuff in dirt when you were a kid. But dirt has a lot of, soil has a lot of bacteria in it. So if you're ever doing a project like this, you need to wash your hands afterwards. Wash them really good, at least 20 seconds. So kind of looking a little bit like chocolate milk, right? What do you think is going to happen when I pour this in? Do you think some of this brown is going to end up in here? Let's see. So what's happening? You see that the water is going down, but a lot of the dirt is getting caught up in the rocks and the gravel and the sand. And you see how slow it's coming down? It's coming down really slow. The reason it's coming down slow is I can put a lot of sand. The slower it goes through the filter, the better the water quality will be. Look at that. We started off with this, kind of looking like chocolate milk. And look at what's coming out at the bottom. I'm going to move this so you can see. Look at that. That is pretty amazing. So our water filter works. It is really keeping all of the dirt, all of the dirty part of the water from going down. We have just created our own water filter, kind of like the water treatment plants, because we never think about it, right? But when we turn on the water at our houses, we never think about if it's safe. And that's because somebody else has already done all this for us. Somebody else has already used all these techniques, some of them natural, like the sand and the gravel, and some of them chemical. So, is this water safe to drink? Let's run an experiment and see. I'm going to add some food coloring, just a few drops. Mix it up. Where's my stick? Mix it up. Okay. And then I'm going to pour it in. The same way I did before, and let it filter through. Now why I put food coloring in is because I want to show you that even though it took out a lot of the stuff that makes it dirty, look at what's happening at the bottom. It is turning blue, like my food coloring. Can you see it? I'm going to put this in back of it so you can see. Look at that color. So what that tells you is that water is not safe to drink. It still needs to be treated. So in a water treatment plant, they will treat it. They usually put chlorine in it. They have all kinds of processes. The water goes through a lot of stuff to get clean. So when it comes out in our faucets at home, that it is good quality. So now you know that nature filters water, that we can filter our own water, but that really we count on the wastewater treatment plants to really clean our water, both physically and chemically. Because look at that in the bottom. Don't want to drink that water. I will say to you that the natural processes are fantastic, and we use those natural processes. In fact, there are scientists right now that are working on nanotechnology. Like tiny, tiny, tiny at the level of atoms, and they're very, 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 very small. And they're using that to filter water. It's less expensive, it's safer, but they haven't figured it out yet. Maybe if you're interested in this, if you think this is cool, if you would like to be the person that figures it out, you might go into science, and you might become the scientist that figures out how to get clean water to everybody in the world using nanotechnology, new technology, and helping out everyone. I hope you enjoyed this project, and if you want to learn more about filters, look it up, Google it. like this might be a good science project. So that's it for today.